There it is.
Good afternoon, you guys.
I say on season 2, we change the music up.
Oh, shit.
We'll talk to our editing team and have them...
That'd be really cool. We should do that.
Maybe
I'd love it.
Design something for us now
Yeah.
that they know us.
They do, too. They listen to all of our talking, so they do. I think they get it.
They know us better than most probably do.
Yeah, maybe.
They edit all the stuff out that doesn't make the
cut. Edit. I thought before we got into it, because we haven't podcasted for like a week and a half or so.
Yeah, you did one with your mom. But
I did one with my mom.
It was
yeah, and then I went on Catherine's podcast too, so that was fun.
That was exciting.
It was.
When is that
it was
coming
really
next?
Fun.
This week, the 19th?
I think she
Thursday?
said Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. I don't know. It's very interesting. It's different to not be in control of the podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not the one asking the questions
Yeah.
that the listeners have sent in.
Yeah, she was asking me. So, but I thought it would be fun to start with a couple unpopular opinions via Facebook.
Love it.
First one, I'm like fully offended.
Is this the one that I told you about?
No.
Oh.
Okay. It says country music sucks.
Wow.
This was from Candace. She also said she didn't like pickles. So I'm like, Candace, girl.
Candace, our friend from childhood, Candace.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their cup of tea as far as genres of music go.
Oh, I know.
But
see,
she lives in the country. Come on, Candace.
I wonder what she likes. But I mean, I understand. People are like going on about it. They're like, my dog died. My tractor broke down. My woman left me. My truck is sexy. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of some of the mainstream stuff follows a lot of similar topics like you just listed out.
Yeah, it's just sung different.
There's some different. I like personally, I love going to Morgan Wall and Luke Combs. Like, those are amazing concerts. They're great performers. My cup of tea is similar to Austin. Like, I like kind of that bluesy outlaw country.
More like Zach
Bryan, Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Tyler Childers, like stuff that's not mainstream. That's like more true roots of country to me. But anyway.
Okay, on the topic of singers, this is by far one of the most oh my God, what happened to my hair here? The most popular thing that people are saying. It says people are over basically Taylor Swift is overrated.
I knew it was going to be this topic.
And B, they are sick of talking about Taylor Swift and
the NFL.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Do you give a shit or do you?
I mean, I don't care either way. However, I don't know either one of them, nor have I ever dug into what either one of them is, whatever. But
yeah, you don't know them.
No,
of course. Yeah.
I like Travis Kelce as an athlete.
Yeah.
And I started listening to he and his brother's podcast, New Heights, like a month or two ago, and I love it. They're hilarious. I think they're both great human beings.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, Taylor Swift, I think the same. Like, she's a great person. Like, our daughter's obsessed with her. Like, she's an amazing performer.
She is an artiste.
She is an artiste. They're both artists in their own craft.
Do you what?
I on it from what I've seen, I think they look good together.
Yeah,
If it ends up working out, I hope it works out for them. It's great. I get what everybody's saying, where it's like the talk of every Chiefs game. It's like less focused on football and it's more focused on is Taylor Swift in the building and
it's
zooming
kind
in
of
on her
annoying
after every play. I hope things work out well for them.
Yeah.
I think things will die down where there's not as much focus on is she here? Is she at the game? I don't know.
God, Taylor Swift, there's so much hype around her. I feel
there is.
People can say whatever they want. I don't know. I don't know her, so I can't. This is just like me just talking like I don't know her. So, I do feel like I just could never imagine and ever would want to be like her. I feel bad that she like cannot go out in public without this swarm of people. And like she literally can't do anything without people knowing what she's doing. I can't imagine how hard that would be and how incredibly private she has to be in order to keep like her life somewhat normal and private.
Yep.
However, I think they're cute.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that they just went to dinner in New York last night.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's weirdly, people will share like, you know, stories of like, oh, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce like went out to dinner. And I'm like,
yeah,
why? I don't know why I feel like I need to know that. Let them be for a second. That's what I feel like.
It's
I feel
the media.
bad.
They're just like, oh my gosh, this is the latest and greatest. We got to just blow up everybody's feeds about this like nonstop. I did see like one, it was probably them going out to dinner. Like she pulled up and he like walked up and like pushed the bodyguard out of the way. Her bodyguard.
He did not push him. I saw that. He just was like, he put his hand there like,
I got it.
I'm going to get the door. He didn't push him.
Like I was impressed by that. Like obviously a lot of guys try to impress in the beginning. So hopefully it lasts, but he seemed like a gentleman, opened the door for her, like put his arm around her waist and kind of walked with her, held her hand. Like she's my girl kind of thing. And so I like that, but time will tell.
I agree though. Like the hype of it is like, why is the NFL talking about it? I think it's wild. Like, like, is she in that container over there?
Yeah.
You're like, why?
You saw that video. They brought her in a popcorn container.
Yes.
Apparently,
and now I feel like they think she's going to be at like all of the games. And it's like, well, God, she can't even.
Yeah. I feel
this
bad
girl cannot live.
I feel bad from both in that sense. Hopefully it calms down.
I know. But anyway, okay. Well, I am surprised by the amount of people who don't like coffee. Really? I am fully surprised by that. Yeah. Somebody said it tastes like dirty water. And then a lot of people just said they don't like it and Starbucks nasty. We discussed that last time. Starbucks being nasty is pretty high up there with people. So
yeah, I mean, my response to people saying it tastes like dirty water or it's nasty is how much have you actually tried? I mean,
did you burn the coffee?
Were you just making Folgers at home?
Yeah, did you overdo it?
There is some incredibly flavorful coffee if you like venture out and go to some of the bougie coffee shops that like roast their own beans and you get it fresh. Like you can go down a whole rabbit hole with all that stuff. But also, if it tastes like dirty water to you, then get a different drink that maybe has some flavoring or some cream in it or something. Like,
I don't
so
like
many kinds of coffee drinks.
I don't like black coffee, but
it's got to be like a bougie ass like coffee shop kind of coffee bean for me to take it black.
Okay. The next, we'll do one more, and this one this is a good one. It says, I hate don't go to sleep angry. I always express myself better the next day when tensions aren't high. You live by that, and I don't like it. Yeah. We were told that when we were married multiple times.
Yeah, like going through marriage counseling and
don't go to sleep angry.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that. Like if it's midnight and we're tired and like cranky, like what's the point of trying to we're not going to stay up till 2:00 in the morning trying to discuss this, and we're overtired and we're cranky and we're just all we need really is sleep, and we wake up the next day and we're better.
I see that part of it, and I feel like there's been a few times lately where we've gotten into it late at night and you're like, no, I'm not, we're not talking about it. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate it, I have woken up and brought coffee up to you, and it's not a big freaking deal.
No, it typically never is.
Yeah, late night fights are normally over just the dumbest.
It's because you're tired and cranky over nothing, and then you're sensitive over it, right. and then we're having this big fight, and it's absolutely wake up the next day feeling so much better.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it depends, but you are somebody who can't just let me be mad.
Well, right, because I can't I'll literally. And maybe I'll get better at it over time. Knowing the couple times that I've been fine, I leave it alone and I wake up and we're both better.
Yeah.
But my brain goes, and we've talked about this on other podcasts, I'm sitting there thinking I go to the worst possible scenario. What if she leaves me? She's so mad at me,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
you're
blah.
so dramatic.
And I can't fall asleep just having that running through my brain.
Yeah, you definitely have anxiety when it comes to that way.
Yeah.
I see a lot of these reels of people being like, my husband not worrying about anything, like has no anxieties. And I'm like, that's not my husband.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're not typical when it comes to that. Like you definitely.
No, I'm more of a sensitive guy.
And you worry.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot. So anyways, I do have some questions for this week, which we haven't gone through in a while. But I do think we should talk about what we're doing.
Okay. I was about to take a drink.
Okay, but we're not going to talk about it for a very long time.
Are you sure? I could go for an hour.
I don't want you to, please. Nobody wants to hear that.
Well, we touched on it, didn't we? Maybe, I thought.
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so we are buying a house.
Yeah.
We've talked about it from the time we were maybe married on and off that we'd love to do like fixer-upper, fixer-flips, or investment properties or something like that. Courtney's parents did it, long story short.
They still do it.
They still do it. They haven't bought anymore. They still have a couple that they manage and
they have
everything
rentals.
like that. Rentals down in the cities. But we decided to do it. I know we had talked about looking at like an Airbnb property. We're putting that kind of on hold for a while. And we decided to start looking just close by so I can actually manage it without having a property manager. Can take care of fixing things up, and it's right down like 10 minutes away.
Yep.
And so we actually checked out a couple homes, and some of them fell through.
Yeah. No, they didn't fall through. They just didn't work out. Okay, I will say when it comes to this, Ethan is so competitive, and if he puts his mind to something, it's like
I don't veer.
No, like he is like so. Oh, I don't even know the word. Like you want to win. Like if you put an offer in the house, you're like, I want to win. So how do I make sure that my offer somehow stands out? Which the house that we looked at 2 properties before we put an offer on this third house.
Yeah.
The first property was definitely a fixer-upper. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it. I did a little video of the basement and the random fridge.
Yeah.
But that was like a farmhouse, I would assume.
Yeah, it was like an 1800s built, like late 1800s. Like it was probably one of the original houses in the town we live.
And not only did the inside need so much work, the outside did too.
Yeah,
and that house is actually pretty close to us. It's like 5 minutes away.
Yep.
But after we left, we're like, that would be too big of a fixer-upper for us to just start. So you guys are starting this
project.
Yeah, you guys are starting this journey with us.
Yeah.
And we will be sharing it all. But so then the second house, so that one we just were like, no.
Yep.
Immediately no. The deck, it looked like you could fall through the deck. Like, I'm not kidding you. It was...
Yeah, everything needed to be worked on.
Everything.
It would not have been...
The floors were wonky.
Yeah.
So then we looked at the second house, and the second house, the actual house itself, the inside needed work. There was random things also an older house.
Yeah.
There was just random things that I'm like, I could take out this wall here. Yeah. And it's so interesting to me the way older houses are compared to now.
Very cut up. Like
open
this area up.
They wanted to be like, there's 5 rooms here, but you're like, these rooms are like beep, 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 super tiny.
Right.
Nothing's open. Like there's not enough windows. There's not enough light.
Like you got to close one door to even open the next door.
Yes.
Just very tight spaces. Like
Ethan in that house, I was like,
stairs that are like this steep and this narrow. Like,
yeah, his shoulders are so big. You look like he reminds me of King Kong. Like
Shrek,
just big.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Especially in this house. Yeah. So anyways, but it had what was it, 3 garages?
Well, it had an attached single stall garage, but then it had 2 big garages detached on the property that were like, hey, that would be an additional rental income for storing boats or renting it out for a workshop for somebody.
The way that so you guys know I'm really into true crime. I have been watching that stuff since I was a kid with my mom. And that house, like, I get goosebumps thinking about it because I was like, this is so weird. The way the garage, I've never seen a garage, an outside detached garage with carpet in it that you literally park on. Like they parked on carpet.
The attached garage had carpet in it too.
I know. And then I was like, why is there no oil marks? Like, I imagine how dirty that would be in the winter.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing in snow and salt and like there's no oil marks. And but the detached garage, it had carpet. And I kid you not, there was this part in the carpet and even my dad noticed it. There was like a
bulge.
It was like
lump.
a bulge. And I'm not kidding you. Everybody's probably going to be like, oh my God, what? But for real, there was like a bulge and it seemed soft and squishy. But I'm just like, why did this guy have, not guy, I don't know if it was a guy or girl, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that apparently the guys that looked at the house with us kind of more from an inspector standpoint. Like he knew the guy that lived there. He used to work at like a lumber yard in town and he'd bring home just random stuff that they threw in the dumpster. And so it was just like, none of the trim matched. Just new trim here, different trim here, different trim
Which is
there.
always, I feel like that's like super easy to fix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it definitely was like, all this trim is all mismatched and very interesting. But long story short, we put in an offer. 2 offers?
Yeah, we really lowballed the initial offer because we're
did.
like, the general contractor we had out there was like, this is going to need like $50,000 worth of work. To like, you could have somebody move in right away, but if you ended up wanting to flip it and sell it and make it nice, like it would need a lot of work. So we lowballed it and they were deeply offended. And then we were like, all right, we came up a little bit higher and they still didn't even counter. So we walked away from it and we're like, it's not the one.
But as we were looking at that house, Ethan saw that this other house very close was going on sale like the next
2 days later.
2 days later.
Yeah.
And it was like everything was
turnkey.
Like we didn't have to fix it. And it was cheaper than the other house.
Correct.
So we didn't
have the big garages attached, so there's not that option for additional rental income. But
it's so cute.
It's so cute. So because we when we originally decided to go down this path, we're talking about buying a house, having it throughout the winter, fixing it up, and then flipping it. Mm-hmm. So now we kind of changed our focus, and we're just buying it as an investment property that we're going to rent out. So we're planning on closing, if everything works out, planning on closing the end of October, which is coming up fast. But we got a team that's working really hard on it. And then try to get a renter in there like December 1st before the Christmas holiday. Which gets a little...
Can we say, like, so far, and I know this is probably true for a lot of people that, you know, are looking to go into real estate and stuff, nothing really has gone to plan.
No.
Like, we had an inspection, but also, like, the garage in this house, like the floors they're not cement floors, they're wood floors.
Yeah.
And I was like, can a car get parked on here? Because Ethan walked and I saw the floor
flexing a little bit.
And I was like, there's no way. But it's a small garage because this is like an older house.
Single stall.
So it's small as in like our Denali wouldn't fit in there.
No, you're talking, and even the height of the garage door is pretty low. So you're talking a small to mid-sized car or a small SUV or something is all they can park, which will be fine according to the inspectors. It'll pass for that. But anyway, it's super exciting. We're pumped about it. We're hoping that it still works out.
Yeah,
we got to maybe
cross your fingers. We have
things, but
it's not for sure. We don't have it yet, but they accepted our offer.
Yep, pending the inspection.
Inspection and all that.
We're working through all that, and we'll definitely continue to update you guys and take you along for the ride. We're super excited. Definitely just a lot of little stuff. It'll take a few days to just kind of do some fixes. Yeah, the more we do stuff like this, the more like obviously educated we come on it. Like when you first do this, it's something that you have no idea. But when we were at LTK Con, one of the things is that they brought up was like, as annoying as failing is or doing a mistake or whatever, you literally learn the most from your mistakes and your failures. Yep. I was just telling my bride today, I was curling her eyelashes
And she was like, wow, you have such a steady hand. And I was like, yeah. So one time I had a bride and it was her wedding day and I actually pinched her cheek, and I never have done it ever again.
Yeah.
Because that was so, for me, traumatizing, because I pinched her cheek on accident with the little part of the eyelash curler, and she was so nice. She said she didn't remember it. I don't know.
Right.
She might have, but whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you only learn after you make a mistake.
Yep.
And so I think it's so, a lot of people are scared to make the mistake, but that's how you grow.
Yeah. And we've had people comment, like, and we may get comments from people listening to this, like, why would you buy right now? Interest rates are crazy. It is what it is. We know the interest rates are crazy, but we also know they'll drop eventually and we can refinance.
Yep.
Real estate investing is a very long-term play, as most investments are.
Yeah.
It's nothing we're going to be making a ton of money on right away.
No.
They'll be paying down our mortgage for us, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And
and we eventually do want to do like a flip.
Yeah.
But I think, well, now is not quite the time for that. So maybe like this house we just buy now, and then like eventually we'll do a couple things and then flip it later.
Yep.
But at least, get some equity in it.
Absolutely.
So that's exciting.
We'll have equity in it right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of what we put down. Yeah.
So about businesses and goals and dreams of my brand or our brand and business, and then explaining why I started influencing and your first struggles and successes.
Okay, that was a lot.
I know, but mostly just like
with?
let's start with how did I even get into this? Do you remember?
YouTube.
No, but do you remember before that? I tried to do a blog.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
I started with a blog because back in the day, I started officially when Nevaeh was like 1. So she's 13. So I've been doing this for like 12 years. And I never quit. I told myself I was not, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I just continued every single day.
Yeah. If you know anything about Courtney, she doesn't ever start anything and then quit anything. She puts a ton of thought, like she'll take her time on making a decision because she knows if I commit to this, like doing this podcast, for example, we're not just going to try it out and then see how it goes. She's like, we're doing it and we're sticking to it.
Yeah. So that is one of my biggest, I don't know what it is about me. I don't know. Maybe not about me, but just like, I just think it's one of those things. If I say I'm doing something, you can count on it. I'm doing it. And so I started a blog because I wanted to start doing like let's do my favorites kind of thing. Well, really quickly, I realized, and probably many of you would know this if you read any of my stories sometimes, like English, writing things down.
Yeah.
I can't do. I'm not good at it. I could talk to you and explain to you exactly why you need something, but I could never write it down in a way that like A, makes any fucking sense, and B, like it just is like not cohesive. Like you wouldn't read what I wrote and go like, oh, I need this.
Right.
But if I tell you, it's so much more. Like I can say it a lot better than I can write it, basically. Yeah. I leave words out. I misspell. I have run-on sentences like you would never know. Like,
yeah, if you're concerned about things, you're like,
Eth, read this. Does this make sense? Because to me, literally, my brain, sometimes I will write a story and then I look back on it like, 12 hours later and I'm like, I missed a whole ass word.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, I knew what you meant. And I'm like,
most people did.
I know. My dad does that.
Most people just get it at this point. They're like,
when you see my dad texting, you're like, sometimes you're like, what did you mean here?
We'll give him so much crap about it and be like, Renee, interpret, please. Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And that is me to a T. One time he wrote it was like a card, like just a thank you, Nevaeh. Thank you to Renee. I love you. You're my wife. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know what it was. But on the cover of it, he wrote, Dave on the outside, thinking like he wasn't thinking. That's how I am sometimes. Like he was signing it, but he didn't realize it was like the outside of the card. I don't know. The card sat there on this side of my mom's desk for a week.
Yeah.
Until my mom was like, I opened it because she goes, I knew it was his handwriting.
Right.
And she was like, that's weird. Why would he write a note to himself?
Dave.
Yeah, Dave. And then we laugh about it all the time now because then it just sat there and she never opened it. And he was like, why didn't you open it? And she's like, it says Dave on it.
I think I'm just going to, I totally forget about that sometimes. I
love
think
it.
for now on, when we give him a card or something,
Just write our name on it?
My name on it.
Ethan
and Court. Here you go.
and then just set it like he set it on her desk specifically so she'd see it. She saw it. He's like,
probably just fuming like, why is she not opening up this card?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a surprise.
Literally a week it sat there. So anyways, that's me. And so one of my friends actually, we were friends in high school, Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's a teacher now, and he actually tutored Nevaeh.
For Nevaeh.
Yeah, tutored Nevaeh. Anyways, he said to me, I feel like you should try YouTube. I think you're better at talking about stuff than you are writing. And I was like, that's a really good idea. So I randomly one day, I remember I put my camera on top of Paisley, our lab at the time, her kennel, her crate. And I just sat there and I did my favorites. And one of the specific things I remember about that is I had a Cadbury egg and I was like, I love these Cadbury eggs. They're so delicious. Da 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 da.
You did.
And then later during the video, Austin, he was like 4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah.
He is eating it. And I was like, this is my last Cadbury egg. I can't wait to eat it later. And I just set it aside and Austin took it and ate it. And I was like, did you just eat my Cadbury egg? Like on camera, he just sat there listening to me and eating it. And I told myself, I said, if I get 100 views by tomorrow morning, I am going to do this consistently.
Right.
And that I stuck to my word. And now YouTube is different for me.
Do you remember how many views you had?
Yeah, I woke up the next day. It was at like 340 something.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God.
For like of just starting a channel, like people just like told other people about it.
I don't know. I posted it on my Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And then, you could link, people just clicked from there.
Yep.
And then we just started like vlogging and oh my God, that's like your 10th yawn.
I'm comfortable with you.
I cannot. You think my stories are so boring.
No, I don't.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, that's literally how I got started. And then Instagram and TikTok were kind of later, of course. YouTube had been around for so long at that time. And I really became obsessed with Instagram because of how easy it is to post a story and talk to people without having to get your camera out.
Yep.
And then after you vlog for a day, you have to upload it to your computer. Then I have to edit it. And then I have to upload it to YouTube, do all the things. And I just was like, I feel like now with the kids being older and stuff, it's just not, it's not where I want to be as much. And so Instagram to me feels more like a family.
Right.
They're my friends. You guys watch me and know what I like, what I don't like. Like Rachel literally scared me the other day or she tried to scare me.
Yeah.
And most everybody was like, you know what would really scare her is showing her how low you are on gas. Cause she had like almost an E. And I was
really?
like,
the people that notice the small things.
I know.
Like, what?
I was like, I would have not even, I mean, I didn't see it, but I just saw me just like strolling. So
I think part of it too with the YouTube is like we're obviously when the kids were all younger, we were all like together more. Like our evenings, like we are so all over the place now.
It's so hard to like Ethan's at football, I'm at dance,
Austin's at football.
Yeah.
Court's got a bridal trial. She's going to a wedding. I'm going traveling for. I mean, it's just
nonstop.
It's just nonstop.
Yeah, we would have to have 2 cameras and yeah. So.
Maybe down the road, like I could see, like we've obviously the YouTube took a break for a while, and then now we've been uploading the podcast to YouTube, so we've been utilizing that platform for that. But I could see, like as we start doing the properties and potentially fixers, like take everybody along for the journey and like
Yeah.
kind of walk them through the process. Like we're fixing this, I'm remodeling this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. And for me, it was very slow roll. It wasn't something that I just like immediately started this like following somehow. It was something that was I was very diligent and every day consistently uploading or working on my channel. And now 12, 13 years later, I can go, okay, well, I can actually call this like my actual job now.
Right.
I mean, for 10 years, I can't say that I could call it a job. I would get $50 here and $50 there.
Yep.
And now it's like I feel like it just is now paying off for me to be able to do this as a job, which I absolutely love. I started my makeup business because you guys know I've shared this lots of times where when I had the kids younger, I just felt like I wasn't like contributing. I was staying at home and I felt like I was like, I need to make money somehow too.
Yep.
And we were at that point financially back then where I was like, it would help $50 here and $50 there.
Yep.
So I started my makeup business doing that. And my kids were so young. The kids were so young then that they were all home. And then on weekends I had a wedding and then I'd come back. But now that they're gone during the day and, like on the weekends, there's sports and birthdays and all that. I'm missing all that. So it is nice that I can be able to take a year off and like kind of just chill with the makeup for a second and really lean into my other work on Instagram and stuff like that. So
I'm excited for next year.
I know I am too.
We won't ever have to, when we're planning out a weekend, we're not going to have to be like, okay, let's look at the calendar.
I know.
Does Courtney have a wedding?
Emily, the other day, you know, when she was talking about Nashville, and I was like, oh, hang on, let me check my calendar.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Because it's been like that for, like 8-9 years where I have a wedding on the weekends and stuff. And I absolutely love doing makeup. But it is just something for me now that I just feel like it's the right time to chill out on it.
Yep.
But my goals for the business, my goal is always to keep growing.
Right.
I know that there's ebbs and flow in Instagram and TikTok and all of that stuff, but my goal is to continue to build a community that they trust and I'm honest and, you know, eventually, to be just me. I just think eventually there's going to be some sort of brand and I'm not quite sure where that would be yet. If you guys have ideas, let me know.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know what it is. I've thought about it and I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I keep coming back to is I see myself eventually, I don't know how, I'm putting this out in the universe right now.
Do it.
A self-tanner.
Ooh.
I see myself doing that. I don't know exactly where or how that goes about, but I can see that happening.
Maybe somebody listening knows.
Somebody knows. Because I just have to do all these like different formulas and stuff. I'm so picky. Yeah. I love my Loving Tan. That's my goat.
Yeah.
Like the best one out there. But I feel like there's other ones.
Yep.
But I think it has to be something so natural for us as a family, like something we talk about, something we, you know, obviously there's something in a product that we see a problem with and then we come up with, you know, a solution.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is yet, but.
Yeah. I don't either, but I definitely have said it before. Like I feel like something big is going to happen.
Something big.
But I'll compliment you on like, I know people ask me like all the time because I am very much an oversharer. Yeah. And I have no problem with it. To a fault, probably, I overshare.
I overshare. I was like telling Instagram I had the shits from. What do you mean overshare?
Yeah, I meant like with you. Like I am constantly bragging you up, talking to my coworkers and friends like about you and your success and blah blah blah, and just how proud I am of you and everything. Anyway, but they're always like, like, how do you like, what, like, is this going to be around forever? Like what, is Instagram going to fizzle out? It was just a fad. There's going to be something else. One thing like I can compliment you on is you're always adapting and changing.
Yeah.
Whether it's,
as much as we love to hate it.
Right. There's new platforms that come up or, new ways that you got to adjust your business to adapt to the changes in the social media environment. But you're always willing to change and adapt, as scary as it is sometimes. You just got to roll with the changes.
Yeah. I always go by the motto, like, I feel like we should all be changing and growing every day in different things.
If you're not changing,
of course,
you're not growing.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if Instagram never came up with the stories? Like for a while, it was just Instagram posts.
Yep.
And now it's like you have stories and now you have like reels and this and that. Or you have this like certain feature where you can comment this and then I can automatically send you a link. Like that is growing. And it is like, that is insane to me that, utilizing stuff to your advantage is definitely, even though it's hard, like learning new things.
Yeah, making stuff more automated to make your job easier and to save you time as opposed to manually doing everything.
No, that's not what I meant. Sorry.
That's not 100% what you meant, but you touched on like the link part of the thing. Whatever,
but I just think like if you grow with the platform that you're on. But there has been so many like struggles when it comes to being on social media. One of the things, of course, one of the biggest things is obviously people just
trolls
judging you for breathing wrong or looking funny on I don't know. Like there's always going to be somebody that does that. And one of the questions was, how do you get over, sorry, let me see what it was. How do you get started being an influencer, and how do you get past what others think of you?
Yeah, that's taken, I feel like, a long time.
For me or for you?
Well, I'm still not used to it.
No.
Because I'll get, like just the other day, I had somebody write me a message that I turned beet red. We were out to dinner as a family. I shouldn't have even opened my phone, but I literally opened up and looked at it, and they were probably the rudest comments I've ever heard anybody make to her. Even to ruder me, than
no, they were talking about me, but they messaged you. Yeah,
they messaged me. Yeah, they were dissing both of us and our family, and like just stupid. I'm not gonna get into it, but I turned like beet red, and it affected me like so much. Whereas she sees this stuff and she's like, whatever. Like she's used to it. It doesn't really affect you as much anymore, because you just gotta, like we always talk about, anytime it does come up, it's like that's what the people are doing it. They're trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to start this back and forth with somebody, and you just delete it and let it go, or you just respond politely. Yeah. And
that's my go-to for the most part.
And then I'll just kindness and
then I'll just block after that. Because here's the thing. I feel like I've said this so many times, and I hope I'm just going to reiterate it all as much as I possibly can. But I told Ethan, like, yes, it was a very rude. Yeah. It was actually one of the meanest messages I've seen in a while. Yeah. And the thing is, like, they're making comments about me and they're making comments about you. Like, you're a control freak and you're this. And I'm like, this person doesn't know you. This person isn't in our circle of friends that know who we are, and people who even watch us know you're not a control freak. I'm not. What? It was ridiculous. Anyways,
can't be repeated, really.
No, I don't want to go into it, but I just had to say, like, they don't know you. Don't get mad about me or like about what they're saying about you, because they really, if they knew us and they knew who we were as people, they wouldn't be saying that. They don't. No. So at the end of the day, all I care about is if my kids think I'm a good mom, my husband thinks I'm a good wife, I'm a good daughter, I'm a good sister, I'm a good friend, I'm a good aunt. All the people who are really in my corner, they are the only ones that matter. Right. And people who are messaging these rude comments are going off of 5 minutes of your whole 24 hours day.
100%.
Like if I'm not recording Russ, people are like, where's Russ? And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just like he's downstairs,
Yeah.
you know? And so I just think like I feel like this is just like a PSA to most people.
Right.
If you're messaging someone that you don't know, I've never done this, so I don't know. But like if you are messaging like, I think that you shouldn't get a boob job because this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
You can think whatever you want, but like that person isn't gonna, that you don't know, and that person doesn't know you.
Yep.
They're not gonna take your opinion. They don't know you. So at the end of the day, like if my mom came up to me and was like, hey, Court, I gotta be honest with you. I feel like you are doing this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
I would take that advice I would 100% go, you're right. I think I'm just getting into my head, whatever it is.
Right.
But if somebody I didn't know said that to me, I'd be like, delete, thanks.
Yep.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, not everybody is going to like everybody, and that is okay.
Right.
If you don't like, oh, I don't think you should be doing this, that with your platform. I think you should be talking about this. I think you should be doing that.
Cool. Go start your own platform then. This is my platform.
I just don't understand the need for people to, unless I'm asking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But some of the people most people are so helpful. I'm saying like 99.7% of people that are messaging me know how I am, know my personality.
And they're incredible.
And they're incredible. And then they're like,
loyal and
hey, I have this for my dog. I think you'd really like it. They're not like, I don't think that you should use that.
Yeah, there's a totally like there's a certain way that you can come across like on social media that like there's totally a different way to word things to just like sound very polite or just like come off as this totally judgy person. But
I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just have such a thing about people judging people without knowing. Like there is so much more to people's stories, and I really hope this podcast can like shine a light on that, because there's so much more to people's day than just this quick like, oh, hey, I love this, that, and the other thing. And then people are like, wow, you just are really materialistic. I'm like, no, I'm just sharing what I like.
Yep.
Just because I'm sharing my clothes doesn't mean I am like, do I love material things? Yes.
Right.
But is that who I am?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
I'm so much deeper than that.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think it's worth mentioning, like you said, like they don't know us. They don't know our life necessarily. They know 5 minutes, but I think it's worth mentioning at the same time, thing that we try to always keep in mind, and we tell the kids this all the time.
Yeah.
These people that are commenting, you never know what is going on in their life either.
Yeah.
So they might have had a horrible childhood. They may be going through a divorce. They may be going through a drug problem. You never know what the person on the other side that's sending these hateful messages, you don't know what they're going through. So like,
and we're talking like real bad messages where I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So that is the hardest part of being viewed by a lot of people.
Right.
I don't even like to use the word influencer. I don't know why I have a weird thing about it.
Yeah, you hate that. I was like, say content creator. Okay.
Yeah.
Brand
because
creator.
I don't know why maybe influencer just has like a vibe to it that people get a little ick.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. Are you planning a Halloween party and horror movie reviews? We are not doing a Halloween party this year. Yeah. And this is our first year not doing it, but we just really, it's not, I don't know how to put it.
It's been busy.
Busy.
There's been this year, normally we have like 4 parties like throughout the year, like that we entertain.
Parties as in like July 4th party, a Halloween party,
Memorial Weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think with the kids getting older, it's like I feel like we're getting even busier.
100%.
With all the sports and the brain surgery, of course.
Well, and you've started traveling now for work and I'm traveling and coaching, and now we're doing a property. Like it's we've had to, and not to say that that's going to be how it is moving forward. Like
No.
it's just a point right now where we're like, let's maybe take a breath on a few things.
Yeah. I think too, for a Halloween party, and this kind of just goes with the, like, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wasn't in a position to just like fully do a Halloween party.
Right.
And like, because there's so much that goes into it,
Yeah.
decorating and the things and all of the stuff.
Yep.
There's so much that goes into it, and I just was like, I'm feeling really exhausted, and I feel like I'm very good at knowing my energy level, and I don't want it to be where it's not fun for everyone.
No.
And so I want to go all out, but I also have not enough energy to do that.
Right.
At this point, at this year. So we're not doing it. But my favorite Halloween movies.
Number one, Hocus Pocus.
Sorry.
What?
Horror movie. Horror.
Oh, got it.
I was like, wait.
Halloween movie, Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus.
Sorry. No, horror.
If you're saying it's not, I don't know who you are anymore.
Yeah. What's my favorite Halloween horror movie? Do you know?
No.
Ethan doesn't like horror movies.
It's not my jam.
No.
I don't watch a lot of them with her.
A horror movie? Let's go.
Are you talking like ones that actually like you
Scared me?
legitimately scared you?
Okay, The Exorcism. Of Emily Rose freaked me the frick out. I don't know if it was because they used like audio from the actual, like, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I like horror movies, but there are some where I'm like, A, you're way just too gory, and B, you're not, like, they're just trying to be gross. Like, I'm not into that kind of horror movie. I'm into, like, I want to be jumpy. I want to be like, oh, that scared me.
Right.
So, The Exorcism of Emily Rose freaked me out, and then also, The Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, that one gets me every time. It's scary.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that one with you.
We're with the masks.
Like the masks, they're terrorizing the people
Tamara
in that house.
home. Oh, I don't like that one. Freaks me out because I literally feel like that could happen, and that's what some Halloween movies scare me. Where I'm like, this could actually happen, and it's really scary.
Right.
Other than that, I really like Halloween because I just feel like Michael Myers is scary.
Yeah.
But there's a very specific one. The one where Rob Zombie did it with the kid. That one was scary. Really scary. Ethan has no idea. Okay. Do you guys wear wedding rings? I never see them. I do not.
Unbelievable.
Ethan doesn't take his off. I work out. So during I get this question a lot.
Yeah.
But Monday through Friday, I'm working out with weights. And it really scratches your ring when you do that because it's like the metal on the metal.
You wore a silicone one for a while.
Yeah. And then it
off.
just fell out. I don't even know where my silicone one is. And then... So then I when I go out, I'm going out, like
you put the bling on.
I put the bling on.
Yeah.
And my wedding band is actually just from Amazon because I don't actually have one. But so when Ethan and I got married, he was in college.
Yep.
And so it was like a smaller ring, and then our 10-year
scraped together.
Yeah.
Just enough.
$2,500.
I don't think it was even that.
Really? I thought it was.
Maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure you told
know.
me that.
Okay.
But I have a really good memory.
You do. I do not. Certain things.
I have to tell you something about that, by the way.
Okay.
But then on our 10-year anniversary, we upgraded my ring. So I'm a little bit more particular with that because I just don't want to lose it. I don't want to scratch it.
Right.
And so I wear it when we go out and stuff.
And there has been times that she's lost it.
Yeah.
She goes out, she gets a little tuned up, and she's like, I don't know where it went. And it's in her jean pocket, like in the entryway, because she just, as we talked about before, her clothes are like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
All the way up the stairs to our bedroom.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is when I'm drinking. I want my rings off.
Yeah.
All of them. Like I take them all off. They start to feel like swollen, and then I get like really claustrophobic about it, and I'm like, it's not going to come off. It's never going to come off, and I'm just ripping them off. And then I put them in random pockets in my purse, in my jeans.
You'll tell Rachel, hey, I'm putting my rings right here. Yeah. You'll have to text her the next morning. Where did I put my rings? She's like,
oh, yeah, you put them in your purse. And like, ridiculous. I shouldn't do that, but I do that all the time.
You shouldn't.
Speaking of memory, I saw this thing the other day that says people who have ADHD, we keep coming back to this because whatever. They have very good, very, 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 very good long-term memories. But they have really bad short-term memory.
That makes 100%. If that was like one of the biggest things to diagnose, I would have diagnosed you years ago.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
I was like, that is so me. I can remember stuff that like that me and Rachel were wearing when we were 16 and we were at camp and I switched and these pants were her pants. Like I could tell you that.
We are polar opposite.
But like short-term memory, I'll be like, Eth, where is, I don't know. It could be like, where's my bra? Well, last time I seen it, yeah. Where's my nippies? I was looking for the other day, like my nip covers, and he's like, I think I saw them, and he could rattle it off.
Yeah, I'm the OCD cleaner. I'll be just like frantically putting things away back to where they go, or like if I don't know where it goes, just putting it in a random spot. You'll text me, I'm traveling for work.
See?
Where's my such and such? I'm like, I put it in that drawer back to the...
He puts it in different spots than I put it. So like even I will be like, I have this pile, and this pile, that was another thing. The piles. But I have a pile of stuff that I'm like, no, don't touch it. I have to do a video on it. So it stays in this corner, and then he'll be like, or my books. I have these books, and then I'm like, don't touch that one because I'm using that one. And then they're just in a pile. And I have different piles. And I get like really like, don't touch them because it's like my organized version of being disorganized. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because they're not neat piles. They're just like...
No,
here's my pile.
But it's not one whole huge mess. It's little sections of a mess.
And then I'll try to like surprise her and clean our bedroom if she's like gone traveling for work. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't know if this is a pile I can put away or if she needs to still do content on it.
Yeah.
So normally I end up just like making a nice pile like up on top of your dresser or something.
Sometimes he'll hang up like things. Like I see one right now that I was like, oh yeah.
Tags are still on it.
Yeah. And I'm like that because for me, I feel like if I put it away, I'm going to forget about it.
Yeah.
So I have to keep it in a pile naturally.
I think we should get like a second one of these. You guys can't see it, but it's like one of those moving racks you'd see like in retail. And she hangs like certain things in there. We should get a couple of them, and then you just hang it all there until you've done your content. Then I can put it away.
Then we can put it away in the closet or get returned or whatever we're doing. Yeah. So anyways, that is probably one of our biggest struggles as a couple. And that probably surprises no one, but it's the organized versus the disorganized.
Yeah.
Like Ethan's OCD, literally, he really does.
I do.
To somebody who is has ADHD, or I'm just self-diagnosing myself.
But you're onto something. I have to mention, it makes me think when we're talking about this. Not everybody likes it, and you probably didn't watch it. King of Queens, one of my favorite shows to watch. Carrie, Doug and Carrie, Kevin James and Leah Remini. She like finds this loophole in the system where she like figures out that you can return, certain things from stores if you keep the tags on it.
Yeah.
And so she literally just starts shopping at all these insanely expensive stores and just tucking the tags when she wears it to work. And then she's got like this whole filing system like on these racks.
No.
And she tells Doug, okay, today after work, you need to stop by and return these shoes. And he'll like go in and he's all nervous and they'll be like, why do you need to return them? And he gets all flustered and he's like, he just leaves and goes home. And he's like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. I don't do that. So I don't know.
I have no problem returning something for you.
Amazon's the best.
It reminded me of the episode.
It does. It does. So anyways, I feel like we need to cut it here.
Yeah. We're at an hour roughly.
We are. That's good. I want to keep it like an hour-ish, but, oh, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
How's the backyard project coming?
It's not. I mean, it is and it's not.
Ethan, it is.
So the big news is we got an exception or an encroachment agreement on our
Yes.
drainage and utility easement. I don't know if we had told them, but it was also labeled as a protected wetland in our back, even though it's not wet. So we had to do a lot of work getting it pulled out of protected wetland, getting an encroachment agreement on the drainage and utility easement. So now we have approval. We got to go to our township to sign papers. I forgot to tell you.
Sorry. Oh.
But we're not in a rush to do it because we're kind of out of time as far as weather goes to try to do it. So we're going to put it off until the spring.
But we have the house project. So the backyard project is going to be a spring project.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. That'll be perfect if we do it in the spring. Then we have enough time to utilize it. Because I feel like it was so rushed to do it before. I mean, this is so Minnesota. Like, you do not know what the weather is going to be. We could have snow tomorrow.
We had the Halloween blizzard of 91. Mm-hmm. And I hope we have another one. No, I don't, because we have to fly out the next day to Florida.
Oh, the next day would be fine, but we'll be like, see you later, bye.
Yep.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this week, and we will see you next time.
Later.
Bye.